I treat homosexual people like I treat people who are homosexual. Let me say that better. I treat people who are homosexual the same way I treat people who are fornicators. Half of the time, because of my own selfishness, I don't care. Your lifestyle doesn't affect me. I'm not like, yo, we need to do something about the fornicators. Like,
but at the same time, you said your own selfishness, you don't care.
True.
So does that mean you're not supposed to care?
I'm out. That's just not me. First of all, this fake outrage stuff that we do, you're not that upset about sin. Like, you're not. You're just not that mad, right? Because you got homeboys who are smashing multiple women. You ain't saying nothing. You got homegirls who out here scamming dudes. You ain't saying nothing. You got parents who are not showing up for their kids. You're not, and the Bible speaks against that. You're not saying nothing. So miss me. You're not keeping the Sabbath. Not saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? You worship money. Not saying nothing. Oh no, dog, get yours, bro. Get how you live. We all different. We all got struggles. None of us are perfect. You ain't saying nothing. So don't say something now. Don't pick and choose. Either it be about God has an issue with sin, mainly because what sin does to his creation. Then let's deal with that. Keep that same energy with everything else. But my issue with people who are homosexual, y'all act like y'all above everybody else.
And see, that's the thing. That's the reason why this is the topic, is because we feel like today in the world, or I can say maybe just in America, that is on a rise. It's like, if you don't accept this, then you're cut off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it only works because the church is buying into it. So, like, the real talk, y'all
gave
it right. I tried to pass it. We're going to be stuck here for a minute, unfortunately.
So we're probably going to get cut off later. I'm going to miss all y'all. It was great. I enjoyed y'all company. I love being on here while I could. Shout out to my moms.
Oh, wait. I'm not done yet, though.
Come on.
Just because, like, so for you to believe because you're homosexual, somehow that justifies your sin. Your sin ain't justified just like mine, is it? So that, to me, is the issue. What, I can't say that homosexuality is a sin? Because at the same time, if I talk about these no good men who be cheating on their wives and their girlfriends, you ain't got no problem with me being judgmental then. So what I am asking for, what I demand, what I expect is just keep the same energy on both sides of the equations. Don't just jump on what's popular. Truth of the matter is, you won't hear me going hard at certain things, because the truth of the matter is, I care about principles. What people do individually, not really. Unless you're paying me to deal with that, or the spirit has led me to deal with that, typically.
But individually,
I don't care.
But I believe this is a movement, though, so isn't this...
It's your mic. It's your turn.
No, Max, it's not a movement, though.
She said, well, he's keeping it real today.
I ain't know, when you talk about a movement.
So, I mean, you know what I mean?
People have been gay as long as people's been fornicating.
Yeah, but they ain't rally all up together, though. You know what I mean?
Don't buy into social engineering. It's not a movement.
He said it was behind closed doors.
Okay, he said it's not a movement.
It's not a movement.
All right. He said the LBG.
It's not a movement.
The plus people.
You don't think that they're going to add on queers?
I know they already did.
What is the movement?
What is it?
When you're talking about a movement, you're talking about something that is pushing political and economic change.
They are talking about political change. They saying they're being treated unfairly.
Equal pay.
They talking about equal rights.
They've been getting equal pay.
From equal rights. No, they saying equal rights. I believe that's
I understand what you're saying, but I can tell you as somebody who works in social services and I've been doing it for 20 years, homosexuals, the LBGTQ PLUS, are the most protected minority, which is ridiculous because they're not really a people. You're not a minority. There's people who are gay that are Spanish, people who are gay who are African American, people who are gay who are Christian, people who are gay who are not Christian. People like that's like being 5'11".
I mean, that turned to the new race.
That's not a movement. It's not a, but that's just social engineering. But they are. But if we're gonna call them a group, they are the most protected. There's white men, homosexuals, white women, black women, black men. In fact, I wouldn't even say that. What do you talk about after the white woman? Then you have like those other ethnic accepted cultures, like Asian, here in America. Then you have black women. You have black men. So like, what you talking about? Like when you talk about rights, really the only group in this country who has its rights legally violated and taken by. And when I say rights, I'm not talking because I don't even think rights are a real thing. Rights are really just the language of the powerful, right? So like rights are only meant for the weak. Because the strong doesn't care about rights; they just take what they want.
Wow.
That's why the government said you don't have a right to kill nobody, but if you get out of line, we can kill you legally. They give themselves the right to do it. So that aside, when you talk about rights, based on the Constitution, only African Americans have really suffered that. That you can also put Native Americans in that conversation, right? And at some point, you're going to even put Asians, right?
Really?
Whoa. This is going back to like the 19.
I got the Native Americans, but the Asians.
Yeah, they were treated a certain way. Like this was like right around World War II.
Then they get
you know what they did with Muslims during 9/11? When they're basically every Muslim's a terrorist.
Got it.
Well, during the World War II, it was like every Asian now was a threat. So they had it hard too, but it still wasn't anything compared to what African Americans suffered and went through as a people at the hands of this country. So, and we're still fighting. We're just like, look, don't shoot. I'm unarmed.
Hands up, don't shoot.
You understand? If you violate someone who's homosexual, it's over for your career. It's a wrap. That's why you don't see gay people getting shot in the head while they handcuffed, because it's a wrap. They're extremely protected. So like, and they are. The world will make you think most of the world is gay. It isn't.
Well, they say 50% of Hollywood is.
Hollywood is a very small section. So because it's on TV a lot, we feel like it's a lot. But there's 6 billion people on the planet. How did they get here?
Procreation.
Just do math, right? So like a lot of it is social engineering to create size or whatever. The truth of the matter is sin, as it's always been and will continue to be, right? And if you feel like that's judging you personally, that's your conscience speaking. They ain't got nothing to do with me.